I came home early and caught my wife cheating with my best friend in the act. She begged not to kick her out, but I did this. My story. After reading your stories, it brought back all the heartache and anger that I went through at the end of my marriage. So I thought to write my story to give a glimmer of hope to you and to show you that everything turns out good at the end. I am 55 years old. My ex-wife is 52 years old, married for 23 years, together for 25. So a little background. I am from Alberta, Canada. Farm boy. Born and raised at my parents' dairy farm. I moved to Ontario to go to university and got a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. After graduating, I went back to Alberta and started working in the oil patch and automation of big oil processing facilities and oil and gas drilling. Made good money, bought a house in the city. A coworker introduced me to my ex-wife. She is an accountant working at a big retail company in the finance department. We clicked immediately and started dating. We lived together for 2 years and married. During our time in Alberta, we had 2 kids, boys, 19 months apart from each other. Around year 5 of our marriage, she got a promotion that required to move to the headquarters office in Ontario. So I resigned to my job and we moved to Ontario. Rented and kept my house and bought a new house with my ex-wife there. Found a new job in automation and manufacturing facilities. She quickly rose through the ranks in the company she works for and now is a high-level manager in this company. We both make very good money and have a very good lifestyle. Frequent family vacations, new cars very often, and paid our house loan very fast. So basically no debt. We had a very social life. We knew a lot of people there from our university days and from her childhood. In 2016 is where everything went a crap. I got laid off my job, got diagnosed with diabetes, type 1, and got home early one day after running some errands to find out that my wife was having an affair with my best friend college roommate. I caught them in the act. He was in our friend's circle. He is tall and handsome, divorced for cheating, you know, the player type. She begged and said the usual stuff that they all say, that she loves me, that it was a mistake, that we can solve this and our marriage is the most important thing to her, blah blah blah. I didn't want to reconcile. Couldn't think of myself being a prison guard following her everywhere and looking for ghosts around my relationship. I do know my value. So I kicked her out of the house and started divorce proceedings. Called the kids that were at university at the time and told them what their mother did. This put a lot of strain in their relationship, which she claimed that was unnecessary and petty from my part. Called my so-called friends to tell them what happened, and most of them knew. One even told me that this affair has been going on for 3 years. I was oblivious, maybe because I was naive and trusted completely my then wife. After knowing this, I went no contact with my ex. Every communication came through my lawyer. I cut them all out of my life. Never spoke to them again. I got depressed, had rage issues, did not sleep, did not eat during that time. Was the worst pain I ever been in my life. Never want to go through that again. I sometimes still have nightmares about it. One day I realized that I could not keep being sorry for myself and started looking how to keep my mind occupied. Started jogging and exercising, started cooking as a hobby, started to learn how to play the guitar. Anything to keep my mind of remembering all the crap that I've been put through. Playing guitar was one of the things that helped me a lot. It's very hard to master, takes a lot of practice, and took a bunch of hours of the day that I would otherwise spend wallowing. One of the first songs I learned is The Sound of by Jan Arden. It is a song about recovery, and I truly recommend it. Another thing that helped me was buying a puppy dog, a Rottweiler, the breed that we used to have at the farm. My ex hates animals, so we didn't have one. Taking care of the puppy also allowed me to take things off my mind, and having it being dependent of me gave me a reason to keep going. During the divorce, we sold the house and split the equity, split the money in the savings accounts. RSP's retirement did need to be divided since we both had the same amount saved. And after the divorce, I moved back to Alberta since I had a house here and started my consultant business, and I'm doing very well, even in this recession. Sold my house and bought one in Canmore at the foot of the Rockies and have the woods as my backyard. I'm not very good at social media, never cared for it. I do not even have a Facebook profile, so not following my wife was very easy, nor did I want to know what she was doing. In 2018, I went back to Ontario for my son's graduation and I met my ex there. She asked, since I was there visiting, if we could grab a cup of coffee someday and catch up. I just told her that in hell I would be in better company and then went to ignore her for the rest of the ceremony. Both of my sons moved here to Alberta, and they lived like 40 minutes away from me. This had to be a shock to my ex since Ontario is 4 hours away by plane and like 36 hours away by car, and that makes it very difficult for her to come and visit the kids. Not everything is as great as it sounds. I haven't been able to be in a relationship again. I have trust issues and decided that it isn't fair to my partner, so I stopped dating altogether. I am alone, but I don't feel lonely. I am very happy with my life, even if I don't have anybody to share it with. For all of you in this sub, my heart goes to you and what you are going through, but I can testify that it gets better, and even if you end up being alone like me is way better than living with the cheater and the ghost of their infidelity. Second cheating story. I cheated on my husband 14 years ago. Now he's cheating on me and I can't handle it. I, 40 female. I've been with my husband 42 male for 20 years, married for 18. We have 2 kids together, 19 female and 17 male. I've gone through my worst phases of life with my husband, and he has always been a rock support for me. Our marriage had rough patches as well. I got pregnant at a young age, so I had never experienced the life of teenagers. Early in our marriage, I cheated twice on my husband. One of the affairs with my ex for about a year and a half, PA and EA, and another was EA with a random guy online, also for about a year. We married at a young age, so I made some really terrible choices, which I regret to this day. He forgave me for the affair, but made me sign an agreement for distribution of assets in case of divorce in the future. I agreed and understood why he had to do that. We started fresh and had an awesome marriage. He encouraged me to become sober and clean from drugs. At the time I cheated, I used to take drugs. He got a promotion and we bought our house. He planned vacations and encouraged me to pursue my hobbies. He helped with chores and was a great dad to our children. About 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with uterine cancer. When the doctor informed us about the cancer, he literally broke down and started crying. At that moment, I realized how much he loves me. I had to undergo surgery for removal of the uterus. After successful surgery, he took care of me like I was a child. He made me breakfasts, ordered lunch, and cooked dinner. For 6 months, he did not let me do any household work or any other work. He even made food for the children on his own. These are the moments that I look back on and imagine that I could not have survived without him. He is my soulmate, and I cannot imagine my life without him. So last night, while he was sleeping, I unlocked his phone and opened his Facebook for some of his photos as I was planning on surprising him with the big collage of his life journey on his birthday. I saw 2 Facebook accounts on it. One was his regular one, but the other was with a different name. I opened the other account and found that messages were sent to his former coworker. They were sexting. I didn't read them, but screenshotted the entire thing and sent it to my phone, deleted the screenshots from his phone, and left his phone on his side. I was not able to sleep and was crying all night. In the morning, my eyes were noticeably swollen. He asked me about my health, to which I replied I was fine. He gave me a kiss on the forehead and left for work. As soon as our younger son left for school, I opened the screenshots and read their entire conversation. Messages were dated back 6 months ago. As I scrolled up, they discussed about their sex fantasies, things they'll do to each other in nudes. It made me sick to my stomach. As I scrolled more, I saw the message, "Happy 3-year anniversary." I don't know why, but after reading that, I literally had a panic attack. I was just laying on the floor crying. He told her about my past infidelity and how he still has nightmares and flashbacks in his mind, but with her, he feels free from those thoughts and enjoys every second of it. He even said that how he is tolerating every moment he has with me for the past 18 years. Being intimate with me is just physical satisfaction he has to do for me, but with her, it is deep emotional chemistry. How he stayed in marriage because of the children and will leave me as soon as both our kids start going to college. They even had planned their wedding. It feels like in one day my life is destroyed. I thought we were a happy family. I had everything in life, but in one day my world is shattered. I wanted to grow old with him, but now it feels lonely. It seems like my life was delusional. I can feel my body becoming lifeless, like my soul is being murdered. I thought that he would have forgotten the past mistake I made 14 years ago, but he was just bearing my mistake for so many years. I know that he is my soulmate and I cannot live without him. I don't know what to do. It's been 5 hours since I read the messages. I just want to die so that I have the privilege of dying with him as my husband rather than alone. Should I tell him how I feel and what are my thoughts? These past years, I have no idea how much he suffered from the trauma of my betrayal. I know it would be selfish of me to guilt trip him, but my soul is tied to him. If he leaves me, I would rather die than living alone with him or someone else. I'm confused and don't know what to do next. Last cheating story. I caught her today. I caught her once at the very beginning of our relationship, but that was like less than a month official together. So we talked through expectations and moved on. For years later, here we are in a trial separation because she needs to figure out what's right for her. It's a long read, but we talked it over thoroughly and decided we needed a refresher. Part of the plan was that she needed to get out of the house and start hanging out with her friends again, which she has been doing a lot. Like going out 4 to 5 times a week. I never questioned her griller, just wish her well and tell her to be safe and call me if she needs anything at all. We still live together, but have been sleeping in separate rooms, and I can hear when she comes home. Due to my fears of a repeat situation, we outlined our expectations going into this, and seeing other people was not an option and was very clearly off the table. Her mother also lives with us and is nice enough, but it's pretty obviously poison in her ear and is a very, I don't need no man, all men are pigs kind of person. She also has slept with something like 15 guys in the less than a year she's been here. I always let the dogs out at 6 a.m. and just so happened to bump into her coming home. I was sleepy and muttered an "Oh hey, where'd you go? Just trying to be friendly?" She came back with, Nathan stood me up and her eyes got wide as she realized she was talking to me and not her mother. She's on Tinder again. I told her I was leaving. I needed to get out of the house before I killed myself. Not being manipulative, I have a history of severe depression and was legitimately concerned. I wouldn't be able to restrain myself. Her own response was, "Please don't go. I can't afford rent by myself," which absolutely broke me. In my darkest moments, face to face with the person who redefined my expectations of love, the woman I was ready to commit my life to, my reason why, I was reduced to how much I contributed financially. The same paycheck she's been using to sleep around with other guys. I don't know what to do. I'm sobbing and shaking. I haven't slept in days. I'm messing up at work. I've developed a drinking problem again. I was 2 years sober and I'm ready to let go and end it all with a magnificent downward spiral. The heck am I supposed to do? There is no reason anymore. Why should I wake up? Why should I care about my body? Why should I care about anyone? I have no friends, no family, and I mean none. I'm just naked, alone, and crying in an empty house. There is no bright side. I have nothing left.